Yo, what is up YouTube? It's your boy Legend and I'm back with another video. You already know what this is just by looking at the thumbnail. Now, if you guys like the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe while you're at it. But without further ado, let's just get into this intro so we can start this what if. Naruto sat in his room as he was sharpening his Tonto. He looked closely at the blade as he saw the nicks that were in it. He also noticed that it was much thinner than when he first got it. Naruto grabbed it by the hilt and the blade and bent it, and to his surprise it broke. Well, I guess I'll have to take this to Tenten and have her melt it down and forge me a new blade. Naruto picked up the metal and was about to leave but was stopped by Anko. Naruto-kun, they want you at IT. Naruto gave an annoyed sigh. For what? Anko gave a knowing smile. Tsunade wants your captive to be interrogated. Naruto pinched the bridge of his nose. For no goddamn reason. She was literally sold to us. Well, technically to Itachi. Does she really think she has any useful information? Tsunade is merely wasting manpower. I don't see why Danzo wanted her to be his successor for Hokage. Kakashi or Genma, or even Jiraiya would have been better. The two walked out, making their way to the IT department. Upon arrival, the two heard pointless commotion. Get the hell off of me! Hold her down, Marino. Kakashi, do it now, said Tsunade. Naruto walked in to the cell to see Kakashi lifting his headband while Anko stood by Naruto. I wouldn't do that if I were you. In fact, she shouldn't even be getting interrogated. Everyone turned to face the pissed off Naruto while Yugito gave a sigh of relief. Oh really? I'm the Hokage, so my word is law. Naruto narrowed his eyes dangerously and Kakashi went to use his Sharingan again. Kakashi, do that and I'll break my foot off in your ass. And Tsunade Dono, you need to come down off of this power trip immediately, especially when you can't even do your job correctly. Tsunade's eye twitched as she clenched her fist. Don't call me Dono. You are not my equal. And disrespect me again, and I'll have you arrested for siding with a prisoner of war. Naruto took a step forward, and he was dangerously close to Tsunade to the point where if one were to lose their balance, they would kiss. Look, Tsunade Dono, I am your equal. I am your second voice. So we should be working together, not doing dumb shit like this. Get off this damn power trip and do your job right before I have someone else take over your job. And I have the resources to do so. 75% of Konoha Shinobi answer to me. They answer to you now because I allow it. But with one order, I can have almost all the village against you. Isn't that right, Kakashi? Kakashi nodded as he showed the tattoo on his shoulder, branded by Danzo. And if you don't believe me, Naruto snapped his fingers as a mass number of root agents appeared. Here's more proof. Majority of them being Konoha Jonins. That means he also had Neji, Anko, Ujo, Sai, Kakashi, and soon he would have Hanabi, Moegi, and Konohamaru all reporting to him if he so pleased it. He really did have majority of the ninja force backing him. Now Tsunade, we both know I don't want to do this, but you also know I don't bluff. So, can we just please work together? Tsunade sighed. She couldn't argue. Fine. But what are we going to do with her? Naruto waved his hand and all of the shinobi that he called went away. I'll take care of her. She shouldn't be getting questioned in the first place. She's a Jinchuriki, and the Raikage sent weaklings to protect her, knowing that S-rank ninjas were going to take her. She's clueless. Anko narrowed her eyes. Naruto-kun, you don't mean she's going to be staying at the estate with us, right? Naruto turned to look at Anko, who had a sweet smile on her face. Too sweet. The smile that meant pain was coming if you answered the wrong way. So what if she is? Naruto kneeled down in front of Yugito and started playing with the gag that rested on her chin. The coarse rope texture was rough, meant to prevent them from moving your lips unless you wanted the side of your lips to get shredded and burned. I mean, look how cute she is. Her face almost reminds me of Ino's, and she just looks so kissable. Naruto started caressing her cheek as she started blushing. Anko, tell me you see the resemblance between her and Ino. Maybe I could get the two of them to fool around in bed with each other, and Dry could write another book. Maybe I could join the two of them, and what do you think, Anko? Anko was red and her eye was twitching. This bitch didn't even like Naruto the way she did. She was just lustful. She only wanted to fuck him, but she would be a hypocrite for not wanting to share. She already had to share with Ino, Ayame, Hanabi, and possibly Tamari. Yugito, on the other hand, was extremely aroused. This wasn't happening. He was really talking about doing her and another woman at the same time, not to mention his display of dominance over the Hokage. She wanted him and she wanted him badly. On second thought though, Tamari would actively try to kill her, so I guess I won't be doing anything with her. Yugito cursed in her head. She was so close. I know where she'll be staying. Naruto removed the gag and the bindings as he helped her up, and he walked out with her and Anko. Tsunade huffed. She couldn't believe that most of her shinobi was under Naruto's control. She couldn't believe that with only a few words, but at least he was willing to cooperate with her. Meanwhile, Naruto appeared at Araya's home with Yugito as he knocked. She answered and turned her head to Yugito. Araya, I'm gonna need you to watch over this one for the remainder of her stay. Araya gave her a once over before she moved and grabbed Yugito by the wrist and pulled her into the house before closing the door as Naruto left. Your room is the second one on the right. If you get hungry, help yourself. Yugito looked around the living room. How were these people so calm around her? They weren't even worried about her trying to escape. She made her way to her room and her face flushed. On the bed sheets was a purple two-sided 14-inch you already know what it is. Was this some kind of joke? Yugito went and grabbed it. Certain erotic thoughts going through her mind. Oh, sorry about that. It's been in this room for almost 2 weeks now. Came a voice behind her. Yugito turned. She was about to ask why she had such a thing, but stopped mid-monologue. It's normal. Araya snatched the thing when Yugito spoke. So, how many inches can you take? Araya turned slowly. Did she really just ask such a perverse question? 8 inches at the max. Meanwhile, Naruto arrived at the Higurashi weapon shop with his broken tanto. Tenten looked up from the sword that she was engraving designs on. Hey Naruto, what do you need this time? Naruto held up his broken tanto. I need a new piece, but I want some of my old one forged into the new one. Tenten nodded and took the pieces before she went into the back of the store and came back with a few metals. Okay, here are some of the metals that I can mix with the metal of your old blade. I'll let you pick. Naruto looked over the 3 metals. I want steel and a copper alloy mix. And this time, I want the tanto to have a rigged teeth on the opposite side of the blade. Tenten nodded with a smile as Naruto left to go back home. Meanwhile, off in the distance, Sasuke stood up on a tree. No doubt it would be placed in the bingo book, as a missing nin when everything was said and done. He knew that the only reason nobody came after him was because there was a war going on. Sasuke looked down as he saw the stone platoon trapping their borders. No doubt, they were now taking defensive measures in this war. Sasuke turned to leave, but stepped on a twig and stopped. Shit. Sasuke quickly jumped away as a kunai flew past him. Now he had to fight. Sasuke rested his hand on the hilt of his blade as his Sharingan spun to life. Here, he was done helping the leaf, but now he was forced into cutting down the numbers of the stone shinobi. Sasuke saw their reserves with his Sharingan as he deactivated it. You all are near Genin. Get out of my sight before I start rolling body parts. All 12 Genins shook. They weren't blind to not see the Uchiha crest on the back of his shirt, but he could still be useful. He had information. He had a dojutsu that could be implanted into their shinobi. He could rebuild the Uchiha in the stone. One took a step forward and the next second his head rolled to the ground. All the Genin looked at it. Sasuke took a step forward, but they all ran. Sasuke sheathed his sword and turned as he walked away, looking to wander the elemental nations aimlessly till he found a new purpose. Time skip 2 weeks later. Anko and Tamari were finally able to go back to active duty, but they have yet to take any mission. And in Tamari's case, she has yet to go back to the sand and take the position of Kazekage back. Meanwhile, Naruto sat on his knees while Ayame was on the couch in front of him. She leaned her head back inside as Naruto gave her a foot massage. He had really nice hands in both ways. Ayame blushed at the thought of what the two did only 3 days prior. Flashback. Naruto sat on the kitchen table, refining the blade of his new tanto. Because of the certain mix of metal, it was strong and didn't allow any blood to stick to the blade, preventing it from rusting. As a bonus, he was able to conduct his chakra through it with very little effort. Ayame then came into the kitchen, sneaking up on Naruto. He knew she was there. He could sense her chakra and he could hear her footsteps. She then jumped out from behind his chair and onto his shoulders like some bad jump scare. Naruto, however, decided to experiment. Hanabi was teaching all the points in the human body to a greater degree. This included pressure points hidden behind muscle tissue. So he decided to test it out. He poked her right under the armpit and 3 inches to the left from her heartstring. Long story short, she felt extremely weak because her chakra flow was cut in half. Naruto undid her points and she sat up with a pout. That wasn't nice, Naruto-kun. I'm only a civilian. Naruto chuckled. It was something I wanted to test and you just so happened to be close enough. Naruto watched as her pout got deeper, but held some playfulness to it. So I'm just a test subject to you? I'm offended. Naruto didn't catch the playfulness in her tone, so he panicked. No, it's not like that. You're much more than that to me. How can I make it up to you? Ayame had to stifle a laugh as she turned back to him. You have something on your shirt. Naruto blinked as he looked down and Ayame craned her neck down and engaged in a heated kiss with him, catching him by complete surprise. Her lips are nice, was Naruto's first thought. Naruto's hands soon started to move as he wrapped his arms around her. End of flashback. Ayame blushed. They didn't go all the way, but he still made her climax with only his hands and mouth. Stupid Kazekage. She had to walk in when things were really starting to heat up, Ayame thought. She then heard a chuckle. As she looked down, Naruto was chuckling. You can't put all the blame on Tamari. We were in the middle of the kitchen. Ayame flushed in embarrassment. She was talking out loud. Naruto then released her feet, done with her massage. He went to stand, but someone cleared their throat behind him. He turned to see Ino. Yes, Ino-chan? Ino's eyes sparkled before she recovered. I need a little bit of your chakra. I may have figured out a way to implement the barrier. Naruto smiled. Ino, you're a genius. Naruto wrapped her up in a tight hug. You also get a foot rub. Ino flushed from the praise. Naruto grabbed Ino by the hand and the two ran off into her room. Temari then walked into the living room and sat right next to Ayam. She had something she wanted to vent out, but didn't know where to start. So, you and Naruto, huh? Ayam eye twitched at the dumbass question that she just heard. Yeah, me and Naruto. Technically it's me, Naruto, Ino, Hanabi, and soon Anko. Temari turned away with a bitter smile. Yeah, I know. I found out while I was still in the sand. Ayam looked at Temari. She knew that she wanted to vent, to say how she felt. You know, you can just say what you want. You obviously came to vent and talk, so continue so I can listen. Ayam gave a sweet smile as Temari sighed, then started. Is it wrong to still love someone, even after he's to be married to multiple women? Ayam already knew this was coming. She would see the small glances she sent Naruto when she thought that nobody was looking. She was similar to Anko, except Anko was much more open on how she felt from calling him Naruto-kun to making advances on him in front of everyone. Temari, though, she was just different, afraid of rejection, so much to the point where trying not to call him Naruto-kun. Technically, she even friend-zoned herself, making Naruto a rival in wind manipulation. Ayam decided to answer. Temari, you do realize that me and the others all love Naruto, right? And he loves us equally. Naruto cares for everyone close to him, and he shows that in action. He's not one to reject someone he cares about. But you, that's the problem. You're making things hard for yourself. You show no affection to him, so he only sees you as a close friend. Why is it that, and don't lie to me? Temari turned away. I don't know, I'm just afraid that he won't reciprocate. What if he doesn't see me the way that I want him to see me? What if Ayam covered Temari's mouth? Naruto used to despise Anko, but look at them now. You know, he came to us yesterday asking if he should propose to her. Temari huffed, but Ayam continued. I'm not telling you this to be mean. I'm saying this because he used to hate her, but now the two of them are almost inseparable. Temari turned to Ayam. I'm not Anko. I don't have her confidence. Ayam was now getting annoyed with Temari. She was going to say her last sentence, and then she was going to get up and leave. Temari, Naruto-kun already likes you. Instead of being stiff around him, play with him and actually be a woman. I'm sure he would know what's up. But he's usually not one to make the first move, so either way, you have to take a chance. Meanwhile, in Kumo, Kiba sat in a chair at a club. The Raikage sat next to him as he had to listen to the brat hoot and holler throwing catcalls. A rather busty dark-skinned woman in a light blue thong and white tight t-shirt walked by. Oh yeah, that's a nice piece of ass right there. Kiba slapped her ass. The Raikage slammed his head against the table. He was annoyed, but he was doing this so he could get all the information of Konoha from the boy. So, are there any weak points in Konoha? Any way to infiltrate? A way to get in and out fast with no witnesses? And do you know the exact layout of the village? Kiba turned. Oh, of course. There's a place at the far side of the village behind the monument. The place is completely unguarded. If you enter Fire Country from the east, you could just come up behind the monument where the walls of the village barrier is the weakest. And as far as the layout, there should be a map in the scroll of ceiling. But what Kiba didn't know is that the location that he had just given, the absolute strongest person in the village stayed there comfortably. A person stronger than Orochimaru, stronger than the 4th Hokage, and smarter than any scientist with an IQ over 300. The Raikage smiled, immediately getting up and leaving Kiba in the club. He had things to do, and getting Yugito back was one of them. A walked into his office, opening the scroll ceiling. His eyes lit up at the techniques that lay out in front of him. Shadow Clone, Bringer of Darkness, Summoning Reanimation. The damn list goes on. His eyes went back to the Bringer of Darkness technique and the Reanimation. Both would be useful for different reasons. Now they could go and fight this war at a more than full power, and they would become the strongest nation. And they would have the Byakugan in other clans that were currently in Konoha. If he was lucky, he would even be able to breed his own line of future Raikage. The strength they would have. He was already thinking of the fruits of his win, even though he hasn't even made a plan yet. The next day, Naruto stood in Tsunade's office with Ino by his side. Tsunade was surprised. She was just told that the upgrade for the village barrier was ready. It would just take some time to place down since there were only 2 seal masters in Konoha. Those being Naruto and Ino, the true seal masters, not that self-proclaimed bullshit Jiraiya thought he was. Once the barrier is up, Ino will be able to put people in charge, choosing people to help her monitor the barrier 24/7. She's most likely going to choose you and people from her clan since they are best suited for the type of barrier that will be put into place. Tsunade didn't care. She was just glad that one of the village problems would be solved, even though it would take a few days to actually finish. Also, I need Sai to come back to the village. I need him as my right-hand man to manage everything that Danzo has dumped onto me. To be honest, the Mizukage doesn't need that many guards too. 2 will be fine. Leave her with the Sage and the Hyuga. Everyone else can come back. Tsunade agreed. She thought it was just a waste of manpower. She immediately sent a letter of return. Ino and Naruto left the office and went to the jewelry store. Ino squealed. They were about to pick out a ring for Anko so he could propose. But he would most likely have it custom made. Ino already had her engagement ring. It was all silver in the shape of a rose with a black diamond in the center. Ayam and Hanabi also had their rings. All 3 of them had their rings custom made. And surprisingly, Naruto had his engagement ring. Ino, Hanabi, and Ayam all pitched in on it. The 2 of them looked over at all the generic looking rings. None of them were eye-catching. Utter garbage, said Naruto. But guys, I'm going to end it off right here. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe while you're at it. But without further ado, I'm out, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.